Ladies and gentlemen, this is indeed going to be a very serious video that I'm going to make, and I potentially probably won't even edit the full video. And as you know, my YouTube channel doesn't have like a lot of people in there, right? But let's talk about mental health, right, and mental well-being of a person. As you guys know, Connor Murphy, a great fitness influencer. Like he was pretty up there, and a lot of people knew him. If you're like very well versed with the gym community, and if you're well versed with the fitness community, Connor Murphy was a pretty like well-known name out there. He was a great vlogger. He did like a lot of stuff, and recently it turns out that he passed away in Thailand, like due to drowning in a lake, from what I'm well aware of. And it's really sad to hear, right, that this did happen, right? And my condolences to his family and his friends and everyone that knew him personally, and may his soul rest in peace, of course. But we also got to look at the aspects that made him, go through that decision, like what aspects of his that made him like that, like depressed, and made him do drugs and like all that other stuff, that is really it's really a controversial topic to talk about, and it's really a little like it's hard to talk about those kind of things, right? Because it's really uncomfortable to talk about those stuff because of course it's just a bad thing. Like anybody that does drugs and anybody that trend and like all that other stuff, jokes aside, like sometimes I've been making jokes about taking trend and stuff like that, but I think what, the fitness industry, personally from my point of view, I think it's a very competitive market, and a lot of people do end up getting depressed in that market, right? Because you have to look a certain way, you have to act a certain way. If you don't have a six-pack ab, no one is going to trust you. If you don't have like 12% body fat, 10% body fat, nobody's going to trust you. If you don't look good, people are going to criticize you for the way you look. But who cares? Who fucking cares? Seriously, is all of those things worth your fucking life? I don't think so. No, I don't think you having 10% body fat is worth you taking your life, or you looking a certain way is worth taking your life. All this looks maxing bullshit that I'm seeing out there, talking about some, oh, you gotta look a certain way, sub PSL, alpha, Chad Light, True Chang, True Adam, all that bullshit that I see out there. It's fucking us up mentally, yo. Like genuinely, If you don't look good, you can't get women, you can't do good in life, you can't succeed in life. Who said that? Huh? Who said that, bro? You know what I'm saying? The internet is so fucking sabotaged, right? And I don't know if this video is gonna get out there, but the internet is so sabotaged that it's implemented that you have to be the certain way and you have to do the certain things in order for you to like get the certain success. You gotta look this way, you gotta act this way in order for you to be this way, right? I'm not saying I'm the best looking guy, right? I'm like average looking, maybe like 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10. But the thing is, looks itself, they don't really like contradict who you are as a person. There are many other aspects in life that make you a kinder, better person. Like the way you act, the way you treat other people, your actions, those correlate to who you are as a human being. That's what makes us human beings, not your PSL or your freaking whatchamacallit, bone smashing, or any of the other stuff. People kill themselves over these kind of things. Like people take a lot of like peptides that supposedly harm your body, then they do trend, then they fucking, I don't know, do drugs and like get into depression, and then guess what, you just end up like fucking being depressed to the point you want to kill yourself, or you want to harm something, or you want to ruin your life. Like that's how people get into addictions, and that's how people get into vices, and that fucks them up mentally, you know. Not to say that I'm like, I myself have a clean sheet, you know. I myself was pretty depressed. I myself have a lot of mental problems that I don't really want to, like, you know, get out there, because this is not about me. This is about y'all and the way y'all perceive it, right? Because I see a lot of like young men, right? I myself, I'm 22, but I see a lot of like, you know, teenagers, maybe like 15, 16. They're all talking about, I mog you. Oh, I mog you. Oh, shit, you're getting height mogged. Oh, you're getting frame mogged. And who the fuck cares? You know? Like, genuinely, who cares? I don't think a person who's having a shitty day is gonna look at you and be like, oh shit, he frame mogs me, or he height mogs me, or something like that, you know? No one is gonna think that way. I mean, it's kind of normalized because of social media and TikTok and all that brain rot culture that, you know, is being put out there for your heads, and it's being normalized because of that, right? I won't say I myself I'm like a saint, you know. I myself like do a lot of fucking gambling, and I do a lot of sports betting, and I have my own vices that I have to fucking deal with myself. I had an alcohol addiction once, and I kind of got rid of it recently because of certain incidents. I lost someone pretty important to me because of me consuming alcohol, and I left that, you know, because I was at one point in my life I was depressed because I had a tournament that came up, right? A kickboxing tournament, and I couldn't make it due to an injury, right? And that got me very depressed, you know. I mean, I was fucking sad, and I had so many thoughts of, you know, just like I want to end it all and shit like that, or a fucking like amateur tournament, you know. And I also, like, for a while I got into alcohol, and then after a while, right, nobody knew about this, so I'm kind of being open about it. I drank alcohol a lot, and I was to myself, you know. I was out there, and one day I drink to the point where I get like extremely drunk, and then I cause a scene, and then my friends had to take care of me, and I also had a loved one that also left me. She couldn't take it anymore, and she left, which I don't blame her, honestly. You know what? Because that's her choice. I really don't blame her. But what I'm saying is, things do happen because they fuck up your mental health, you know. Like, if you don't succeed in something as a human being, it really does fuck with you. And it fuck with me, right? Like the way I said it right now, it did fuck with me. So your mental health really matters, you know. Don't care about what others tell you what to do, you know. Don't care about, like, if people are telling you that, you know, man, it's sweating a lot in this car. I need to turn the AC on somehow. But don't let anybody decide what you have to be as a person, you know. You decide that for yourself. All that matters is what you do for you. You know what? So what if you don't have like the best physique in the world? So what if you don't? Now, I'm not saying you don't strive for that, right? Strive to be the best version of you, not the best version of what he wants, or the best version of what she wants, or the best version of what your parents want. The best version of you. You need to be the best you know what I'm saying? You need to push your own limits, and you need to be your own person, you know? Don't let anybody in the internet tell you what you gotta be like, you know? Some random freaking 15-year-old kid types in the comment section, oh shit, look at him, he's like freaking skinny or something like that. Like, now I'm not saying all of them are like that, right? Most people are very supportive, right? If you guys look at it that way, most people are very supportive. Now maybe out of like 1 or 2 people, out of like 10 people, there's like 1 or 2 dickheads that are like, you know, fucking out here trying to hate you, like hate watch you and stuff. And that's normal, you know. That's the balance of humanity. There's always a balance in people, you know, hating on you. But you gotta also understand that not everyone is like that. Most people are supportive, and most people want to see you grow, you know. And when it comes to mental health, talk to someone, man. Like, genuinely, like, you know, you don't have to be to yourself, you know. Like, don't wait till it's too late. Don't keep to yourself, because then you're gonna end up doing something that you were gonna regret for the rest of your life. Like, talk to a friend or talk to a family. If you don't have anybody, just talk to fucking God, man. Like, God is always there to listen to you, you know. He's always gonna listen to your problems, no matter what. That's the one entity that's gonna be in your life forever, forever. Like, don't be by yourself. I mean, shit. If it helps, I don't know. Probably hit up the comment section and talk to me. I guess. I mean, I don't know. Like, just talk it out. And also, don't worry about what society sets for you as a person. If it's too much, don't push it. Like, just be you. You're great as a person. I think a lot of people need to hear this, but you trying by itself is a great act of achievement, because a lot of people don't even have the balls to try. They don't have the balls to strive for what they want. They're always scared and they want to do like their like stable jobs. And if you do want to do that, that's perfectly fine. But if you're trying, if you're hitting the gym, if you're working out, and say you don't get progress as fast as a person that does trend, or as fast as a person that does TRT, it's okay. You know why? Because you're consistent. You're actually going to the gym. The amount of people that are not consistent, the people that are just probably sitting in their couches watching Netflix all day, while you are out there every day, like every freaking 5 days a week, hitting the gym consistently, keeping track of your diet consistently. And even if you miss 1 or 2 days, so what? At least the next week you're consistent. As long as you're consistent with what you do, you're good. You don't have to fucking be David Goggins and do like 100 miles a day. You can just start off with 1 mile, then build up to 2 miles, and then you can jog your miles up to like 3, 4, and 5 miles. You don't have to freaking climb a tower. Now, would that be great? Absolutely. I'm not saying set your expectations low, right? Strive for high. Strive for the highest point in the room. But at the same time, don't be sad when things don't work out, because at the end of the day, if something doesn't work out, there's always something better. And if there's nothing better, at least you tried. But that's all I got to say. And to Connor Murphy, may he rest in peace. May his soul rest in peace. And I really pray for his family and his friends and the people around him. And I really hope there is no other deaths such as that one. Thank you so much.